All right, welcome back to another episode of Cloth Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Brody. If this is your first time checking out the podcast, make sure you go ahead and subscribe, like, drop a comment, all that good stuff. You know the host, so I ain't got to do the whole thing. Shout out to our sponsor. We want to shout out Deontay Tatum with theflyeragency.com. If you are in need of any graphics, any animations, any website design, any flyers, anything creative that you need for your business, website, a logo, if you need anything to represent yourself visually, hit up theflyeragency.com. And shout out to the best podcast who always shows me a lot of love out there in Dallas. The reality is, if you enjoy unfiltered conversations, make sure you go ahead and check them out. It's a dope podcast. One of the, in my opinion, the best podcast in the city of Dallas. So check out The Reality Is. All right, we're going to get right into this one, boy. Oh, man.
So extra.
When you talk about, first of all, let me do a proper introduction for this black woman. Let's get it right. Entrepreneur, business strategist, mom, wife, CEO. I mean, we talking the Breach Trap 2.8.
Yeah.
Trap Academy. 360 Wealth. I mean, I'm sure I'm missing something.
That's you hit it. You got it.
No, I got most of it.
You got most of it.
Okay.
You got it.
Rrari is here.
I'm here.
Right. For those who are in the Columbus, Ohio area, I'm pretty sure you have seen something in the vicinity of what this woman does. She, okay, to back up. So 2 years ago,
right,
we sat down, we chopped it up, and at that time, you wasn't what you are right now.
I wasn't.
You was making moves, you was doing what you was doing. Number one stylist in Columbus at that time. You was doing your thing with the stylist thing, but now, like, you done added on to just that.
Yeah.
So, before I get into all this stuff I got written down here, these questions, catch us up on what's been happening, this tremendous growth of yours within this 2 years since the last time we chopped it up.
Right. Woo! It has been a lot. So, okay. When was I here? That was like
2019.
I had just had my son. Okay.
Ah.
Yeah. When I came last time, yes, I had one business. It was the Breach Trap 2.8. I was doing hair, making wigs, just the normal hairstyles. I was doing hair, selling hair. I would consider it just a normal hairstylist.
Okay.
And it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
So you wasn't satisfied?
I just wasn't. I needed more money. I'm like, no. Like,
you
this
was
is cool.
making pretty good money.
I was making good money, but I needed like great money. It just really wasn't enough, and I could tell, like, okay, this just ain't gonna get enough. But I was just doing wigs, and realistically, the pandemic came, and then I got pregnant again with my second son, and when the pandemic came, it was like I have to figure out how to make some money. You know, I couldn't be behind the chair. So that's what really pushed me to start doing wigs. And
I got you.
Yeah,
So once the birth of your second son came, you hit a second gear.
Yeah.
You was like, okay, shit gotta move.
Yeah, it's real now. I have 2 kids, not just one.
Right.
So it was just like, okay, it's go time. So I took my wig business like overboard during the pandemic because it was like, I'm just about to go hard. I didn't have anything else to do. I was in the house, and then my house flooded. I had lost my business. It flooded twice.
Dang.
So I really couldn't take clients, even if I wanted to, and be like, just wear a mask. I couldn't even do that because everything was gone.
So all your equipment and shit was destroyed?
Everything. Like, the only thing that I think I had was like a ring light upstairs. Because I had, similar to how you have your setup. You have your in-home studio. That's how I had.
Yeah.
And everything up to like the where your railing is at. So I couldn't even come down my steps. So it wasn't just like flooded. It was flooded. Like, we couldn't come down the steps.
Like shit was floating.
Yes, literally. Like, my couch was flooded. was floating. So that's how much water.
Damn. Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, so was it a storm or something happened with the piping in the house?
Yes. Well, there was the whole neighborhood, honestly. It was right like in Whitehall. It was a really bad. It was the first time that had happened in that neighborhood, but it was really bad. And
shit.
That, I think that was what gave me that extra push. Like, okay, the devil is trying me. So that's when I went full speed. I was pregnant. I was like 6 months pregnant. I'm like, okay, I just want this. I have to go hard. And that's when it triggered. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make 100,000 this year. That's what changed my mindset when I started saying I'm gonna make 100,000. I kept saying it. Then I came up with a plan and I made 100,000. And that's what did it. When I was able to, you know, make 100,000 and people watch my journey, that's what took my business overboard. I feel like it was just like they watched me go through, and I took them on that journey with me. I showed everybody, like, damn, look, y'all, my shit just flooded. Right. You know, damn, look, y'all, I'm back. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. So I was showing the process, and to see, you know, to see that journey, I think that's what took my business overboard. Then I started doing voiceovers, just joking around on Instagram. Started doing voiceovers, which we're gonna talk about. Yeah. And after that, and realistically, like I said, though, my business touching 6 figures, it made people interested. They like, how did you do this? How did you do this? And that's how I became a business coach. Because everybody was just like, no, you're gonna teach me. Like, I'm like, fucking, I don't want to do it anymore. Like, that's what I want to do. Cool. It was a pandemic. I could do it over Zoom. So it just all fell into my lap, and I played my cards the way that it was dealt, and it played out right. And here we are.
So your back was against the wall, and it forced you to figure this shit out.
Absolutely.
Because 6 months pregnant, I ain't got time to be a bullshit in my house just fucking flooded. What the fuck? I gotta
literally.
Damn.
I gotta make some shit shake.
So at any point, let me ask you this: at any point, did you feel like nothing was like working in your favor, or you was just tunnel vision, like
it was
fuck all the negative bullshit, whatever, I just gotta go? Like, did you get discouraged at any point?
No, it was so weird. Like, and
that's tough.
And I know, and that's when I'm coaching my students and stuff, I just be like, I don't know, it might be just something in me, but like when my back against the wall,
will fold.
Yeah. When I talk to people, they like, no, when I get like that, I shut down. But me, one thing that my man, he told me this when we first got together, just like, you know, once you get to the bottom, you can't go no lower. So you can only go up from there. And it just stuck with me. So shit. When I feel like I'm there, I'm like, all right, but what am I gonna do to get up from here? Like, shit, man. I just knew, like, okay, this is all happening for a reason. Yeah. It played in my favor because like my house flooded, then I got a new house, way better than I went from Whitehall. Now I live in Bexley in a amazing nice house, big backyard. Nice. You know what I'm saying? It all played out. Wow. I just kept my head above water.
Damn, man. Wow. So okay, so house floods, 6 months pregnant. So what were you still? So with the hair business, you obviously transitioned from that. Right. So at that time, were you still doing hair? Like, how did you still manage to like keep your clients? And, like, did you have to like book a space or something?
No, honestly, I just was like, yo, I'm just doing wigs, like, and I'm like, if you can stick with me, you can. And the pandemic helped though, because a lot of people didn't even feel comfortable going into a shop, and most hair salons were shut down.
So it actually worked to your favor.
So it transitioned. People transitioned to wearing wigs. So I just started freaking them, making them look just like how I looked if I did their hair. I'm like, don't y'all want to look the same as y'all did when y'all was coming? You know, can't nobody do you like I can do. You. I start talking my talk, and they like, all right, look. And I started wearing them, you know, just promoting them, and people like, okay. I showed them that it was easy to wear them, and I made the transition pretty smooth. And most of my clients, when your clients is loyal, they loyal, you know. And they stuck with me. They was just like, shit, if you only sell wigs, then I'm only gonna wear wigs. But that was short though. Like, it was crazy. My house flooded. March, and I was in my new place in June. Damn. So it was like, it wasn't, it was, I moved quick. Like, I was like, once it flooded again, because I started getting it back right, and then it flooded again in May. Once it flooded again in May, I was like, I'm finding a new spot. I'm not doing it.
What? So, I was like, it was bad luck.
Exactly. I was like, oh no, I gotta get out of here. Like, but it just all worked out, you know. I didn't want to bring my newborn baby to the house anyway. So it all played out, you know?
Yeah. I want to talk about because one thing I think that you do really well with your social media, we're going to get into more of that, but the way you branded yourself.
Right.
Like, you're really clever with it. Like, if y'all follow her long enough,
right,
you will see these little things that it's like, oh, I caught that. I just caught that. Like, the way you brand yourself is slick. It's not like forced in your face. It's not like, hey, everyone look at me, I'm Rrari, and about like, it's very like you're slick with it.
Right.
How did you like tap into that?
That's a tough.
It's unique the way you do it.
To be honest, it's me. Like, I just try to stick to me, and that's something that I always tell anybody with social media. The one way that you really gonna grow on social media is being you, because the moment you tapping in and trying to act like something else, it get old. Because every time you get on social media, you got to do this, or you got to act a certain way. So for me,
you're not a character.
I just like fuck it.
You are right. Like. And it's like you don't water it down.
I don't.
Like, it's just straight. Blunt. Yeah, it's very blunt. It's just raw in your face. Like, this is me, 100% straight. It's like, yo, like, she's like, like, you're not afraid to put yourself out there, whether good or bad.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's not easy for everybody.
It's not.
I kind of always been like that. I just didn't put it on social media. Like, if you was around me, like, to the people that's around me, nothing that I do on social media is new. They are just be like this. Even my mom, like, literally, when I first started doing them, she was like, that's my daughter. Like,
dang.
If you around me, you already know that was just me. I just, like, my first voiceover that I ever posted was the first time I did it. Like, I didn't record and then re-record or record. I just did it. I just was like, let me see what I say. Like, I didn't think of what I was going to say. And that's when I knew, like, this is it. Like, because I just did it joking and it went viral. I was like, oh, this what y'all want?
Right. You're like, I do that all day. My sleep.
It's easy.
That's me.
So, I just say the main thing is just like just being yourself and being confident in who you are.
Yeah.
As long as you living in your truth, you're not doing something in the dark. You know, you ain't living two different lives, and I don't.
Yeah.
I'm cool with the life that I live.
Right. And that's one of the things I want to ask you, because, like you said, like with your, you're being a business strategist, aka Coach Rrari. Rrari the coach.
Right. Right.
Like, I'm pretty sure people asked you a lot, like, how do I, like, find my identity, or how do I present myself, like, because I'm sure they look at you and they like, how can I cut in that lane?
Right.
Like, how? What would you say, like, for people who are like trying to, I guess, like, establish themselves, like
tap into themselves.
Yeah, like in their identity, but also be comfortable with who they are, and then once it's out there, it's out there. You can't take it back.
Exactly.
What would you say to like kind of like get people in that, like just
tap
tap into just tap into your identity and just let it.
That's like, for real. That's what I teach my students, is because that's really the key. Like. It's tapping into you. Most people that you follow them because of what they've been through, kind of like their purpose. Like even with music, I tell people this: we listen to certain kind of music because of what they're talking about. You know, when we want to have sex, we listen to love music. They're talking about making love. You know, you relate to that. Yeah. You know, when somebody going through a heartbreak, they make heartbreak music. So you really tapping into what they, how they feeling at the time. So for me, what I tell my people is just like, one, you have to be vulnerable, unfortunately. Like, if you want to put yourself...
That's hard, Rrari.
It's hard. It's very hard.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, I be having to wiggle
my
clients.
You want me to post this?
Exactly. So what I say is, this is the main thing when it comes to business. You have to, one, realistically, your story is what's going to tap you into your audience. Like, for me, I know who I am, and I'm cool with it. Like, I know I smoke weed. So I smoke weed on my platform, shit. Because I know that people that smoke weed gonna tap into it. You know, I know that my daddy wasn't around, so I talk about that. I say that, you know, I was a girl that grew up without her dad. I'll talk about that. Now, the thing is, you just got to know where you at in your story. Some people ain't ready to talk about it. So when you're not ready to talk about it, don't talk about it, but you can make content about it. That's the difference. You can make a video without you talking. You can type something, or you can record shit. Maybe you ain't ready to go live. You need to record then edit. Record and edit. You know, you just got to figure out where you're at. Everybody is not ready to type. Like, some people ain't confident. If you're not confident, it's gonna show in your content.
Yeah.
So you have to be confident before you do that, because it comes with a lot. So people see the fun side of this influencer shit, but woo, if y'all really went through my comments, y'all would be like, wow. Like,
Insight us. What's some of the things that...
woo! People be talking shit. Like, when I'm on there, I do my voiceover or something, because my voiceover... If you heard my voiceovers, you know what I'm talking about.
All right, fuck it. I was trying to hold it. Let's just go for it. Fuck it. I was going to hold it till like we took a first break or whatever.
Right.
All right, fuck it. So let's just describe the voiceover. It's if you got kids in the room, if you got kids listening, just a fair warning.
Yeah,
I'm gonna count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Hopefully your kids are awake. All right, so your voiceovers.
Yeah.
First of all, you're an excellent cook. You cook your ass off.
Thank you.
So as you're preparing meals for the household, doing your wifely duties,
right.
taking care of the family and your man, you are describing the meal as in the way as you are describing what you would. Shout out to Chuck. Shout out to Chuck.
I'm so weak. Yeah.
Hey, he's a public figure now. Thanks to you.
You are, sir. They
So
know who you
we
are.
know who you are, Chuck. Sorry.
That's true.
We'll get you on the show, Chuck.
Right.
Oh, we'll do like a fellas round table talk.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, so during as you're preparing your meals, you're recording yourself and you're breaking it down step by step, and it's very quick and it's very descriptive.
Dark comedy.
Dark comedy. I mean, you're talking about how he hit in front of the back, how you slamming them down, how you ain't holding back no punches. Like, you literally give people an inside view into Rrari's world.
Yeah.
Literally down to descriptive.
Exactly.
Now, as a woman, when you first like, you know what? I don't know, like, I want to get that. Like, that should be private, or do you like, fuck it? Like,
literally, fuck it.
Now, was Chuck like, yo, what are you doing? Yo, what the fuck? Yo, chill.
Everybody asked that. Like,
I'll just put myself in his position, like, yo.
Yeah, people be like, it take a confident man for real, because like, because of the shit I say, you know, it make people mind go somewhere immediately, no matter what. Because
it's like verbal porn, pretty
right?
much.
Pretty much.
It's like you're not like posting y'all doing it, but it's like verbal, like if you was like reading Playboy.
Yeah,
it's like that,
and then you hear it, so it's just like you're like, what the fuck? You can't even pay attention to the food,
right? Then the food is like making the noise,
right. It's intense,
right? You're talking about tossing asses.
Yeah, I do say a lot in my voiceovers. I didn't. That's the thing. Like I said, when I did it, I didn't know what I was going to talk about. Like,
it just came out that way.
It came out. I wish that I would have recorded the first time I did it, because I didn't. So this is how I ended up doing it. My page was growing from just cooking. So really, I was cooking and I just had music on there.
Okay.
My page was growing. I got to about 10K. And a homegirl of mine was like, you should do voiceover. She was talking about my voice. She was like, because I always send audio messages because I'm busy. So I just, I never text. So she was like, your voice, you know, I can always picture what you're doing just from your voice. She always say that. So she told me, like, she sent me this lady on TikTok and was like, you know, look at her voiceovers. And I listened, and it was about her man, but she was saying, like, she was acting like she was mad. Everything was like, I'm going to cut his dick. Like, it was some shit like that. Okay. And I was like, okay, I'm not a mad ass yes. I'm not mad, so I'm not going to do that. But I was like, that is a good idea to bring him into it some type of way, just because I know my audience. I have to keep my audience in mind. True. I know my audience is women who's in relationships. I really make my audience me, who people I can relate to. So I knew that was my audience. So I'm like, fuck it, as long as I do something about my man. And I have no idea what made me say what I said, but I just did it. And I played it to him, and he was like, "You is crazy." Like, he just was like, "You are crazy." Like, he ain't even really. He was not surprised.
He was like,
"I say shit like no." He just like, "Bro, you crazy." And I posted it, and it just went viral.
Took off.
And then he was just like, "Keep doing that." He like shit.
Keep it going.
He just laughed at it. He read the comments and just sometimes he's like, I be wanting to comment back. He have his little 2 cents, but he don't. I feel like if I wasn't talking about him, like if I was just talking about sex and I wasn't making it that I was cooking for my man, it would be a little bit different because different people would approach me different.
Right.
So
people probably think you out.
Yeah, it's like, are you a porn star? Like, but people know, like, oh, this is somebody cooking for her man. So their approach is automatically different.
Right,
so I think that's what makes it like, shit, at the end of the day, I'm talking about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't talking about, so I think that's what kept me in the game. Is that I was talking about him. If not, he'd be like, yeah, cut that shit.
Oh, man.
So, I'm grateful I did it the way I did, but nah, he never really... He never really reacted in a way like, what the fuck?
Right. Wow. That's dope, man. Like you said, it takes...
I'm grateful.
It takes a secure person. Because, you know what? Now that I think about that, had he not allowed that or like felt some type of way, then it hurts you.
Exactly.
It hurts your growth.
Exactly.
So,
that's why you gotta be strategic and you gotta know your relationship. Respect your relationship. So I knew that when I did it. Like, okay, I'm not going to just get on here talking about it. If I would just got on there like, I just want to suck some dick. Like, wait, what the fuck is going on here? What are you talking about? Like, no, cut.
Right.
End of that. Rrari is gone. So,
right. That's dope. That's dope. Okay, you guys can bring your kids back in the room now.
That's done.
All right. On that note, this is a good time. If you guys want to check out all her social media stuff, this is a good time. We're going to take a quick break. Let them know where they could find you at, connect with you at. If there's someone who's looking for, some help with business strategies, with becoming an entrepreneur, how to transition from a full-time job, how to invest, which we're going to get into more after this break. We're going to break that down. We're going to get into that more. Let them know where they can find you and hit you up everywhere.
Absolutely. You can find me on all platforms, everything, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, everything is Rrari_2X. Which camera? This one? R. I'm like, RRARI_2X. Rrari 2 times.
All right, reach out. She don't bite.
I don't bite.
She's here to help.
I am friendly.
There you go. And I want to talk about that too. I wonder if people get the wrong impression of you.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Tap in. They do though.
This is Club Talk Podcast. Make sure you go ahead. If you like this episode so far, make sure you go ahead and follow Rrari on all her platforms. Show love. Subscribe to the podcast. Drop a comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you in a bit.
I'ma talk my shit, no mumble. I'm tired of being nice, fuck humble. I'ma stack my hundreds in the bundle. I'ma catch me a plate, no fumble. Fuck on a nigga for an hour. Then I go hop in the shower. Want me to lay up like Kobe. I'm up early in the morning like Bo. Back on my hustle like Nip. Still a popular bitch in her lip. Careful, don't slip on my drip. Use the key card to get in my whip. I don't go back and forth with you bitches. I'm too busy getting my riches. I'm soused up and I'm dripping. I'm focused and I'm tipping. Matte black when I'm flipping. Wrap the whole pack, then I ship it. Fuck it up, then I leave. Let your nigga grab on my weed. Took your man and gave him back. I don't like the nigga like that. I'm making moves like a boss. Pay a bitch what it costs. Sauce dripping on a honey. Don't nothing move without the money. Count 100 stacks with a boss nigga, then I fuck 'em good on the money. How many times you came? By the honey. If a bitch hate, tell her run it. Do the whole dash in the Tesla. Dash reading by the honey. Sauce dripping on a honey. Don't nothing move without the money. Count 100 stacks with a boss nigga, then I fuck 'em good on the money. How many times you came? By the honey. If a bitch hate, tell her run it. Do the whole dash in the Tesla. Dash reading by the honey. I got 100 ways to get paid. Take 100 pics, they getting slayed. My side nigga met my main nigga, now both niggas feel played. 100 ways to get paid. Take 100 pics, they getting slayed. My side nigga met my main nigga, now both niggas feel played. 100 ways to get paid. Take 100 pics, they getting slayed. My side nigga met my main nigga, now both niggas feel played. Broke bitches need $40. Boss bitches need investments. I don't smile a lot unless I'm at the bank. Just talking down, but she ain't at the bank. I got an army with me, no limit tank. Got 100 killers, they ain't shooting blanks. I pull up, it's a murder scene. No fingerprints, cause I left it clean. I'm in my bag, count it up. Got 100 stated, add it up. Make a broke bitch probably rake it up. If we talking cars, you can put it up. How I'm coming? For they neck. I don't talk much unless it's by the check. Do the whole dash, get into the cash like dreaming fat and throw it in the bag. I gotta ask cause you mad. I just sit back and I laugh. Hitting the gas so fast, hoping this bitch don't. Sauce dripping on a honey. Don't nothing move without the money. Count 100 stacks with a boss nigga, then I fuck 'em good on the money. How many times you came? By the honey. If a bitch hate, tell her run it. Do the whole dash in the Tesla. Dash reading by the honey. Sauce dripping on a honey. Don't nothing move without the money. Count 100 stacks with a boss nigga, then I fuck 'em good on the money. How many times you came? By the honey. If a bitch hate, tell her run it. Do the whole dash in the Tesla. Dash reading by the honey.